Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Saturday, March 23rd, 1 a.m. Mountain Time 2019. Popo blowing up high into the sky. Cosmic ray increase leads to heating of the muons in the subsurface and siliceous rich magma. Volcano stratocones, Popo specifically. Thumbs up, Volcano YT. This is just happening hours ago. Where are you going to get this info? I'll tell you where, the effing awesome classroom. That's why you're here. Next dose of spring snow to arrive early next week in the Northeast. She has an incredible dress on. Storm to usher in powerful winds across the Northeast. A storm forecast. Let's listen.
Hard to believe that when you see locations like this picking up a heavy dump of snow. Lyndonville, Vermont, definitely not disappointing. And really, Vermont state as a whole, at least the northern half of the state, has seen plenty of snow. You can see some of the reports from Friday. Quite a few locations picking up over a foot of snow, and even a few spots picking up 18 inches of snow. Now, looking ahead through the rest of the weekend here, or at least looking ahead into Saturday, you'll see it's mostly going to be snow showers up across northern New England as we start to see some quieter weather moving into the Northeast. However, it's still going to be a bit on the windy side here, so make sure you are bundled up and you are dressed for the temperatures, because we do have some chilly AccuWeather real field temperatures in store for Saturday. So here's the snowfall map, what we anticipate into Saturday. Again, some areas already picking upwards of over a foot of snow, and we very well could see the AccuWeather local storm max, someone picking up as much as 2 feet of snow. So we'll have to wait and see. As I mentioned, the wind is still going to be an issue throughout the day on Saturday here. So there could be some localized power outages, still some flight delays due to the wind, with gusts as high as 40 to even 50 miles per hour.
Outages, you
and
think?
that's where you factor
How
in the
about that
AccuWeather real
geomagnetic
field
storm you're not
temperatures.
reporting on, lady? Anyway, a storm forecast to spread rain from the Mississippi Valley on Sunday to the Atlantic coast on Monday. May end as a period of snow from parts of Ohio to parts of Massachusetts early next week. A second beast from the east, part 9.7, will hit the Northeast into April, which will not be a schmapril. It will be a blustery, cold, wintry tard in your future. I'm going to show you some low temperatures, which will blow your mind. It's going to be freezing all the way down to Georgia in the next few days. Winter Storm Vaughn, I love that name, bringing spring snow, rain, and gusty winds to the Northeast on Saturday, which is our Saturday in Pagosa. An area of low pressure is moving up the Northeast coast. Snow is expected into the interior Northeast with the heaviest amounts over the higher terrain. It's insane. Don't walk near a pine tree or you'll fall in a snow hole. Gusty winds will also be a problem as Vaughn moves away. Spring's arrival is a rude awakening in the Northeast as Winter Storm Vaughn will continue to bring rain, wind to the interior into Saturday, which is Pagosa's Saturday. Winter Storm Vaughn was named Friday when the population criteria of 2 million people under winter storm warnings was met. Damn! Burlington, Vermont, 20-mile-an-hour winds and snow, and Syracuse, you're fluxed. Boston, it's going to be, you're lost in. New York City, 26, gusts, 38. It's not looking great. There's your winter storm warnings and alerts and watches and what have you. Overnight forecast, snow for Caribou to Burlington to Syracuse, Boston, New York. Additional snow and rain forecast through Saturday. We're looking at 1 to 3, 3 to 5 throughout the region. Burlington, 5 to 8, 8 to 12 up in those regions. Heads up. 5 inches in Eustis, Maine. That's insane. They've gotten like 500 inches. Last thing they need is 5 more. Winter storm warning remains in effect for Pagosa. Major storm slamming northeast with strong winds, flooding, rain, and snow. Ho, 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 welcome to spring. Dang, dang. Let's play it. There's not even any volume. It's just a video of people walking down a path. That's the Grand Canyon for you. Heads up, it's not even spring in the Grand Canyon. Oh my God. Do you remember that happy, what was that? Do you remember that, here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. The storm still slamming the region brought heavy rain in many places. A few locations may yet to receive 24 inches of spring snow before the storm departs. Grand Canyon is getting jiggy. Rain slowed the morning rush in Philly to New York and Boston. Monday. What? Monday. What planet am I on? Isn't it Saturday? I thought it was Saturday. Sioux Falls flooding maps. See how forecast. Hello? Hello, Sioux Falls. Where'd you go? Can I get it back? Al, shut up. It's not that funny. Sioux Falls flooding maps. See how forecasted water levels would look in your area. Could it be scarier? Officials have spent days preparing Minnehaha County residents for flooding. But how bad could it get? This is not a sharticle. This is a flooding article. Potential impacts on the Yankton Trail, Omaha, blah, blah. These blue regions are totally fluxed. And if you don't heed warning, you're schmuxed. Can I say that? The Midwest floods aren't going to get much, much worse. Let me repeat, the Midwest floods are going to get much, much worse. That means not better. And if this is the current condition and much worse is going to happen, holy macaroni. It's going to be rough to go to the gas station and the food market, which could be a sharket because this food will be contaminated. An unprecedented flood season lies ahead this spring, according to NOAA. HOA! They must be watching our channel. A massive deluge of rain and melting snow from bomb cyclones and other over the grand solar minimum as it descends on the region and other recent storms inundating Midwestern states, including Iowa, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, South Dakota, say it ain't soda, Minnesota, and even Nebraska. Kiss my... The flooding has killed at least 3 people and caused $3 billion in damage so far, $1.5 billion in Nebraska alone. Is that state even worth that much? Rising water levels have breached levees along the Missouri, forcing several towns to evacuate. In Nebraska alone, the flooding has caused... I just said that. Whew. Man, they're behind the times. Here's the 2019 U.S. Spring Flood Outlook. If you're purple, you're schmurple. Holy... And that was just issued. That is our new issue. We're going to open this image, and you'll be seeing this in the future. There's your crop loss outlook. Purple regions will be destroyed. Thanks to Floyd. And the snow and all the other shit just already happened. As floods inundate the Midwest, many ask, will our levees be the next to fail? Maybe. It will happen. If you live by a river and you didn't know it was going to flood, well then, you haven't lived there long. Total snow mass for the Northern Hemisphere still 300 gigatons above multi-decadal averages all time. And you can see that major flooding caused by this rapid drop-off in the snow mass in the last week. That's turning into water. And this is going to continue to drop off because we have to continue to drop off into the summer, which will be a bummer, but a hella river rafting season coming right here mid-April through May. Hey, hey! Put on your PFD and let's hit the Class 5. GFS total snowfall showing total snowfall continuing well into April, burying Puxatawny Phil with another nor'easter, which will be a beaster. Check out Idaho. Holy Bitterroot's buried. Central Idaho. Look at the mountains of Oregon. You guys are not done. 3-4 more feet. High Sierras, 4 to 6 more feet through April 1st. And then a blizzard hitting Nebraska, kiss my north, east, Colorado, and Wyoming at the end of the month. pumping snow into a region that needs to be planted. Iowa's not out of the woods. Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin. Heads up. April will be amazing. And check out the freeze right here. Boom. Watch this. Holy March 26th, it's going to be chilly down in Tennessee. Look at Philly. 20 degrees. 28 in Philly. Is that right? I hope nothing's growing there. Oh my God, March 27th. Wednesday is your lose day. North Carolina, Georgia. It's going to be cold overnight. I hope you don't have anything growing and you better be covering it in these regions that are blue. Because you're due for a freeze. And it's going to continue to be cold in the Appalachians all the way down. Almost until April. We're going to be watching these cold anomalies. Look at this. This is -2, -10 on March 30th. 4 degrees up here, March 30th. -1. Look at how cold that is. Look at the freeze line as we hit April. Look at how balmy April's looking, folks. And that's tonight's first balmy boom. Flooding, balmy April. Great Lakes feeling effects of rapid climate warning. Now, if you read this, they're taking some average from 1901 to now, and they're eliminating the hot years in between 1960 and 1985. And this is after the last grand solar minimum. Well, it was a major minimum, the centennial minimum. But they don't tell you that. They don't say we started at the coldest point and it's been warming. It warmed 1 degree for 100 years and since the coldest point, when you're all going to die. Look at this. The whole lake is frozen over with ice as we get into April. Isn't that hilarious? And they show you that picture. And they're like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's really bad. It's getting bad. It's so bad that we're going to rob you of knowledge. We're going to coat your pineal gland with fluoride, pollute the water, genetically modify your food, bombard you with 5G, and assimilate you as a biological slave that you were born to be. Sickening. The preparedness on Earth is sickening, which is why I started the channel, to unsicken the masses. 6 months after Hurricane Michael, people are still living in tents. Yeah. Nearly 6 months after Hurricane Michael slammed into the Florida Panhandle, many people living there are still trying to put their lives back together. The Cat 4 storm made landfall last October, killing 43 people, causing more than $6 billion in damage. And if you're still in a tent, don't you think another one's coming? I don't think a tent's going to help you out when the next one hits. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance. Get out of Florida. What Mozambique's unfolding flooding catastrophe looks like. It looks like hell on Earth. It looks like a nightmare. An inland ocean has formed near Mozambique coastal city of Barai. Huge amount of water measuring 80 miles long by 15 miles wide, which could be the size of the Mississippi in the coming days. Be warned, the European Space Agency captured the extent of the flooding via satellite on March 19th. No, the flooding areas are in red? Thanks. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. It's insane. Australia faces a dual severe tropical cyclone strike this weekend, starting with Trevor in the Northern Territory. Heads up, Trevor. As Veronica threatens to cause flooding disaster in northwestern Australia, the danger to lives and property are imminent and obvious here in the video. Now, after these make landfall, we're going to see record flooding Cosmic rays. To blame. Seismic update, no quakes of note. We're looking for a big boomer. Anytime. We'll be checking space weather, maybe, in this update. I have no idea if I parsed it up. That's how exhausted I am. Worldwide volcano news update. Fuego, Popo, Bromo, Ibu, Ducono, Planchon, Petaroa. Ducono blowing to almost no height. Fuego, volcanic ash. Bromo, we'll get to the eruption. I'm going to show you some pictures. Planton, Petaroa to 14,000. Sabancaya, puffing. Puff, puff past to 6 miles. Into the atmosphere. Just on the cusp of the stratosphere. A little bit more Popo footage for you. And we'll come over to Bromo. Aerial view of the ongoing eruption. Hashtag Bromo volcano earlier this morning, 8:24 local time. Oystein Lund Andersen. Please follow him. If you're on the tweeter. Tweet him. Tweet it. Tweet it up. No thanks. Franks. Now let's talk about it. Geostorm may bring northern lights far south tonight. Many Americans and Canadians have a great chance to see northern lights on Friday night and early Saturday morning. Let's do a new tab. And that causes us to do a dab. The solar flare erupted on March 20th. C4.8 is set to slam into Earth Friday night, prompting NOAA to issue G2 watch or moderate geostorm watch. The flare will bend around Earth, so bend over, rover. Friday's almost full moon won't help sky gazers either view this shite, because it will be too bright. Here we are at spaceweathernews.com, checking on the sun. Sunspot 2736, or I just made that up, but it's probably pretty close. Producing solar flares in the B range, kicking off a C flare as recently as 12 hours ago. It is now turned around the edge of the limb, so these will be shooting out away from Earth, thankfully. But I digress. Phi angle is getting jiggy, and let's open this image. Because we're about to hit the scrimmage, folks. Holy macaroni! Plasma density rapidly increasing, phi angle shifting, Earth to Sun. But this will shift Sun to Earth quickly. As the density increases here, speed will kick up, and we will enter geomagnetic storm in the next 12 hours. So maybe there'll be an early morning update after I get to bed and wake up. Maybe something will be getting jiggy. Minor perturbations to the grid expected. Did you hear about the giant Nagawa swamp Kuri log dated at 40,500 years old that was recently found? Look at this woman kissing it. I would be kissing it too. This thing is amazing. It's from 40,500 years ago. This tree, which was a 3,000-year-old tree, was blown over during the magnetic reversal we know as the Landchamp reversal. Right there. And what had to happen was the tree itself had to get blown down and inundated with a mud flood, covered in a catastrophic flooding event, and stayed that way until just recently when they dug it up. In an anoxic environment where no rotting occurred. Do you know how much this wood is worth? Oh my gosh. Holy macaroni. There's the flooding. There's the wood from the flooding. Are you peeking? I am. It's amazing. The massive swamp Cortilog unearthed near Kilikohe is around 40,500 years old and could shed new light on a mysterious global event which may have dramatically influenced the Earth's climate. The log, which is 16 meters long and weighs 60 tons, was found during excavations for a new geothermal power station near Nagawa Springs. It was delivered to Nagawa Mare on Wednesday by power company Top Energy. Whew. There's the stump right there. It weighs 28 tons alone. Amazing. Found under 9 meters of clay. That's it. It stayed that way for 40,000 years and is still a piece of wood. That is mind-blowing. The information is flowing in right now. Alan Hogg, director of the Waikato Radio Carbon Dating Lab at Waikato University, dated the tree to 40,500 years, plus or minus 400. That made it of great interest to scientists studying the Landshamp event, a magnetic reversal in which Earth's north and south magnetic poles switched places. Look at this kid. He's picking it up. It's amazing. I want to touch that tree. That knows something. It knows a lot. Heavy metal found in meteoroids kills cancer cells. Look at that. It looks just like shungite. Holy sh... Did I just say that on air? I bet you were demonetized. We have shungite in our store, folks. Linked below. Now this meteorite, it's iridium they're talking about, which also kills you and gives you cancer. Just really weird. But I digress. The world's second densest mineral can kill cancer cells by filling them with deadly versions of oxygen. You know how to kill cancer a little easier than eating meteorites? Shungite, the Electron Pollution Solutions Special Report. This came out Friday, December 7th, 2018. And this is a treasure trove of information on shungite. I implore you to read the facts, because there are different versions of shungite. We need type 1, aka elite or noble. Black shungite is okay, but you want noble. Do not accept any lower grade, because we're looking for fullerenes. These fullerenes are not abundant in shungite, despite what you might read. In fact, they're almost not present, but they are there, especially in type 1 and type 2. So that's what you want to be looking for. And if you do get the type 1 and type 2, you can get it in powder form. Type 1, you can make shungite water and shungite salve and use shungite powder for inflammation, to eliminate free radicals from your body, reduce cellular damage from radiation exposure, including 5G, antibacterial, antiviral, antihistamine, anti-cancer, pain reliever, immune booster, faster healing, tissue regeneration, protection from ionizing radiation, non-ionizing radiation, including EMFs, geopathic stress, enhanced detoxification, benefits reported for high blood pressure, osteoarthritis, respiratory tract infection, diabetes, gastrointestinal conditions, skin conditions, psoriasis, fast recovery for cancer patients following radiation therapy. Ho! It's the soccer ball. It's the Buckminster Fullerene. Go get it. I implore you. Read the article. Do your own research. Find your own sources. But get the shungite. Make sure it's elite. And be safe. Dow falls 460 points as U.S. recession indicators flashes red. I put $2,000 in Litecoin and other cryptos 68 days ago, and my money has over doubled during this recession. What are you doing to hedge? 4 months prior to that, I put $1,000 in silver and over doubled my money there. Now, I can trade the silver because I got it in used coins. And crypto may be the way of the future. So that investment is growing. Now, as we end tonight, I wanted to call out the disgusting nature of humans, specifically the white man. The white conqueror, which I want no part of. Destroying native heritage and information that was kept for time immemorial. These pacifists were murdered. They do not bear arms. They do not know them, for I showed them a sword and they took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron. With 50 men we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. Christopher Columbus, architect of genocide. These people held the key to our history. And we raped them and murdered them. We stole from them. We destroyed their civilizations. If you want to be a part of that history, well, I don't want you to be my friend. And I certainly do not want you to walk with me as the world changes through the next paradigm. These people lived in harmony with nature, which is the only way we can survive and thrive in the future. I ask you one question. This is some of the most important history on Earth, the genocide of natives. It should be the only class taught in public school, but it is disregarded. While they teach climate change, which isn't even science, dogma. I hope everyone realizes that homeschooling is the only way to teach knowledge from generation to generation. A shift is occurring. A shift in knowledge. Do you have the gift to teach? We need you to rise to the occasion. Time is running out. Crops are failing. Cosmic rays are increasing. There will be a major earthquake coming soon, followed by major volcanic outbursts. The markets are failing now. Every single dollar should be preparing to survive and thrive in the future. That's growing your own food. Protecting it from intruders. Learning how to wildcraft. Live off the land. Hunt. Fish. Grow livestock, chickens, rabbits. Get going. We love you. Thanks to our Patreons, our supporters, everyone in the chat, top knot. Like-minded people will make it together. We're a community. We're learning. The geomagnetic storm coming will be a meter for things to come. There will be very minor perturbations, but we can multiply those times 10 and talk about them. Talk about what may happen. Do we have fresh water supplies? Do we have backup generators? What if the power goes out for a month, 3 months, 3 years? What if it never comes back on? Buy books at your library during book sales. You can get them for a quarter. Informational texts, reference manuals, how-to books. It's a long journey. You need to start now. One step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. You can do it. Be safe. We love you.